Hey everybody, I'm Mecca here for my self-publishing blueprint, and in today's video, I'm so excited to bring a personal good friend of mine, Mr. Ollie El-Gorr from 1 Hour Book Descriptions and Double Your Kindle Sales. Ollie, bro, welcome back to the channel. I think you're one of my more frequent guests.
I am. I think this is the fourth or fifth video. It's been a while though.
It has been a while. Well, we've both been busy. You've been traveling and everything, but man, I am so stoked. Right before we get into basically how you can charge way more for your books than your competitors, that's going to be the main thing we're going to talk about today. This interview is going to be nuts. So stay around till the end. Bro, September 12th to the 15th. Is your body ready?
I am so excited.
Tell me, what were some of the takeaway big moments from last year's Cancun Self-Publishers event? This year we got the second annual one, but what were some of the big takeaways from last year that you weren't really expecting?
It was the fact that there's people like you in the world, because like entrepreneurship is quite a lonely sport.
It is.
And like having people who share like similar worldviews and have similar goals.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have come here from different paths. So you just share the different experiences, and you come not knowing anyone apart from maybe speaking to people on the internet. And like, I have lifelong friends from that event now. Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Phenomenal. We have people coming from all over the world right now. From all over Europe, from where's Griffinder coming from? Oh, no, he's in London, I believe. But yeah, literally all over Europe, from the States, from Mexico, Canada. It's going to be an absolutely incredible event, September 12th to the 15th. You don't want to miss it. The biggest, most influential names in the entire publishing space are at this event. It's us, the Mickelson twins, D1's making a return. And if you remember from last year, oh my God, did that guy bring the fire or what for his messages? It was just nuts. And Marco is going to be there, and he's going to be dropping some crazy stuff about ads. So, what he's prepping is going to be awesome. But make sure you check out the link in the description for more information on that. But let's dive into this interview. You know, I remember the moment in time when I really thought, hey, there's more to writing my descriptions and more to this whole publishing thing than just publishing books, was when you and me, we both had, I think, like 31 books out. And I was doing $3,000 a month from those 30 books. And you were doing just over $10,000 a month. And I was like, but we got the same number of books. What's going on? And you're like, but look at my descriptions. Look at how I'm laying everything out. And that like, it hit it for me. And I'm like, oh, there's way more to this than I thought. Right? Because that was, like we were working the same, but you were getting you were 10xing the results because you were doing a couple small things. So let's talk about those things.
So with regarding like books specifically, the general consensus is, okay, everyone's charging this amount. I should charge exactly this amount or slightly less.
Right.
Like, and this amount tends to be like $12 to $14, depending on what niche you're in.
Right.
But the fact is, you can charge a lot more, but you have to take it away from just being a book you're selling to focusing on the quality of the information that you're selling.
Okay.
Because price by itself doesn't mean anything. Price is only relative to the value that people perceive whatever you're selling has. It's like when we were talking about Starbucks, it's still coffee, but people perceive Starbucks as having a much better overall experience. And, also people will just tell you the coffee at Starbucks is better, whether it is or not.
Correct.
That's the cool thing about high prices, is that people actually perceive the information as being more valuable, whether it is or not.
100%.
So the biggest thing here, I'm going to bring in a prop.
Okay. Love props.
I came prepared. This is a book I paid $240 for recently.
What?
It's 241 actually.
So now, by just showing me that and you telling me the price, I'm like generally intrigued because I got to be like, oh man, there must be something in that book.
Exactly.
I thought you were going to say
I
like
got
$2.
I got to specify it was not on Amazon, but the entire hook for it's a book by Ben Settle, one of my marketing heroes. The entire hook for the book was that the majority of this information inside was from a talk that I was paid $5,000 to give to a financial publisher about 5-6 years ago.
Wow.
So instantly, in my mind, this is $5,000 information.
Right.
So now I think I'm getting a bargain.
That makes sense.
Because there's this concept called anchoring. And I don't think I've heard many people talk about this, not in publishing anyway. Anchoring is when the human brain has a focus point and all other information revolves around that single point of focus. So in that case, the focus point was $5,000.
Right.
So for me, anything less than $5,000 was a bargain.
Okay.
Whereas with Kindle, you are anchored to other books in your niche. So realistically, you can't charge $240 for a book on Amazon,
right?
Unless you're like a celebrity authority type. But what you can do is you can charge $20, you can charge $30 if you just demonstrate that your information is more valuable.
And then, so where or how do you demonstrate that your information is valuable? Is that solely in the description, or does it have to come through a couple different steps?
Most of it will be done in the description because that is where you can do the most selling. Mm-hmm. There's a few things with you can just make your cover look better. But ultimately, some of the most expensive books I own have black covers with white text on them and no graphics. So it's mostly in the description because that's where you can convince the customer that this book is inherently valuable.
Now, okay, so some people might start thinking it's like, well, if, the highest price book in my niche is like $14, $15, $19, how can I get away with charging like $30? Aren't they just going to look at the price and not even bother clicking on the book? Or
a lot of people will, but they aren't the people that you want as customers.
Makes sense.
It's like the people who go to Starbucks and the people who go to the gas station to get coffee for 99 cents. Two very different demographics.
Yeah, 100%.
But the gas station is in the transaction business. It's convenient. It's there. You're not going to go, oh, God, that gas station's really good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
No one is loyal to a gas station.
No. Well, yeah, you're right. No, 100%. I know what you're saying.
Whereas Starbucks, okay, I'm going to go to Starbucks today. People don't say I'm going to get coffee today. I'm going to go to Starbucks. Apparently, Starbucks is now different to a coffee shop.
It is. It is. It's 100%. You're not just at a regular coffee shop. You're going to a Starbucks.
Exactly. And if you've ever been to a Starbucks in a third world country, you will be amazed because they're full.
Yeah, because it's a first world thing in a third world country.
And it's different. It's fun. I used to live in Vietnam where coffee was maybe 15 cents a cup. Or if you went to a fancy local coffee house, it was $1.50. Starbucks was still $5, $6, and Starbucks was full all the time. Because it's the type of people who are attracted to that.
That's so insane. That's yeah. And you know what? It's funny. I've noticed this in restaurants as well. The people who go to an IHOP, hey, and I love IHOP pancakes. I'm there every year for my birthday, right? But the people who go to IHOP at 6 p.m. are a lot different than the people who would go to, they're probably not going to the Keg anytime soon, or a nice steakhouse or something like that, right? If they're going to the IHOP for a steak, right? It's just it's a completely different clientele,
Yeah.
right? Now, going back to the books, if you're charging more for your books, your royalties are more. Could you justify less sales then, but you're making more because your royalties are more? Like, is that something you also take into consideration as well?
That's like with any book I produce, I would rather target that demographic and have a smaller overall market, but have
Mhm.
higher margins.
What about
Because
yeah, go ahead.
just because I'm more likely to get repeat business from that. People who are willing to invest $30 in a book are more likely to join your email list. They're more likely to be responsive to your emails.
Okay. So what about just raising the price of your book?
You can do that, but if you don't have a justification for it, as in there isn't like if you're not getting massive sales already, there's really no point.
Okay.
Unless you drastically change your positioning altogether.
Okay, let's
Which is
talk about the positioning. Let's talk
Sure.
about how to position your book with more so it's more valuable, so your customers see it as more valuable than the other books on the market.
So a big reason people are persuaded to do things is because of authority figures and celebrities. So what I like to do is I like to just name drop a bunch of authority figures and celebrities in the book description. Because the thing is, we live in a celebrity obsessed society. We always want to know what famous people are doing. So say you have two diet books. One is the lose weight diet, how to lose weight really well. And the other is Kim Kardashian's secret to weight loss. Which one are people going to buy?
100% the Kim one. Now, so is it really just doing more custom? Like, you can take any niche, any topic really, and then it's just doing some research to find out what celebrities have experience with your topic, and then
1,000%.
right, like, because that would work so easily, because you can spin anything, right?
It's not hard to find like someone who has used your book. If you
Right.
search keto diet celebrities, there are 20 people who come up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you
That's a
search, like
really
when I
good
was
point.
when I was in the crypto niche,
Yeah.
a bunch of people had quotes from Bill Gates
Yeah.
saying like, "Oh, Bitcoin is the future of money," and instantly, what that does to customers, like, okay, if Bill Gates says it, oh, it must be legit. It's no longer like this internet scam anymore.
Wow. That's so interesting. I've never thought about like using they're not celebrity endorsements, but using celebrity namesake to connect with your topic.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you should lie in your book descriptions to say like Kim Kardashian used this book to lose weight. That's very unethical and
It's
very illegal.
Kim Kardashian used, the keto diet to lose weight. Find out some of the secrets here, or something like that, right?
Yeah, because it's an endorsement, but it's not an official endorsement.
Right. Okay.
Like, there's a reason every single financial publisher has like, this hedge fund manager said this. This famous billionaire said this about whatever obscure thing they're promoting this week.
Right.
Because it's that authority and that like celebrity figure that convinces people that the information is better.
Okay. Okay.
I want to talk about another thing about price, which I don't think anyone in this space has talked about, and it's the consumption of information. Like, higher price things are more likely to be consumed by the customer.
So your book is more likely to be read.
Yeah, it's more likely to actually be used.
Hence why your opt-ins for your email lists are higher.
Yeah, because people are actually going to open the book.
Right.
And Kindle customers are inherently less valuable to you as a publisher than paperback customers. Because Kindle is such an easy transaction. You can download books and they're on your Kindle 5 minutes later, but it doesn't mean they get read. because
Right.
it's not just your book that's being downloaded. It's probably 5 other people.
Mhm.
And especially with free downloads, like free downloads don't really mean anything.
Free downloads are
Because
horrible because, yeah, go on.
like people have literally hundreds of free books on their Kindle that they're never going to read.
And I guess when they get that paperback and it shows up to their house, like that's a whole moment, right? They got to open the door, unpackage it. Like it's not just, it's downloaded on their phone and they forget about it. Now it's a physical thing that they're looking at, right?
Yeah,
They put it on the
it's gonna
table.
be read.
Right, exactly. Okay.
Like there's a reason this $240 book is a book, because you get that big package from FedEx. That's another part of the experience. He sends everything via FedEx rather than just mail. Like it's the whole experience.
Genius.
You get this big book.
Experience.
You're gonna exactly. It's not just a video course where you're like, okay, I'm gonna log in. Should I watch a lesson today? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's funny because I sell video courses as well. I can look how much of the course people consume, and there's people who have bought the course 6 months ago and they haven't watched a single lesson.
Yeah, I know. It's so it's still mind-boggling for me.
Like it's a very interesting thing, but like with a physical book, people don't tend to buy 20 physical books and not read them.
No. That's very interesting. Okay. Now, do you have any specific pricing strategy, like in terms of, do you just leave it at $19.99, $20.99, $21.99, like, because that does matter to us to a point, right? In terms of what pricing you're actually using for your books.
To a point, yeah, because $19.99 in customers' minds, that's less than $20.
Right.
So, okay, they're immediately going to compare it to what else they could buy as well, which I'll get onto in a second. But like $19.99 is better than $20.99, because less than $20 is better than more than $20.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, with $20.99, you may as well charge like $23.99.
Right. Because there's no difference in a psychological.
Yeah. No, it's the same price from a psychological point of view.
Yeah.
So charge $3 more and get the royalties.
Right.
This is a question I get a lot of: should I use 99, 97, 37, 32, 31, 74? Is that your one? 74.
That's my go-to. Okay.
38. If anyone gets the 38 reference, that's old school publishing. It doesn't matter. Like the cents number doesn't matter. Like, I think I posted something in my group a few months ago of this guy who's done like $12 million worth of testing. He's like, the price point is the least important thing in terms of 99 cents, 97 cents, 30 cents. It doesn't matter.
Why do you think people get so hung up on that?
Because it sounds like something that you can control in the business that's very important.
That would make sense.
Like there's a lot of things that sound like they could be very important but really aren't. Whereas like if you just dial in 2-3 key principles over and over again, you'll make a lot more money doing it and you'll be working a lot less.
Right. Okay. Now,
one more thing.
Yes,
one more thing.
Okay.
Because it's also what they could be buying as well. So with every Kindle book, it's less than the cost of a latte, like every single time. So you could get this life-changing diet information, or you could go buy a coffee. Like, come on, it's basically free at this point.
Right.
And even with paperback books, it's less than the cost of a large pizza. Works great in the health niche, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to be like, for some niches, making that type of comparison would make so much sense. Like, I remember when I used to sell cut knives, I remember this one appointment I did in Victoria for a lady in low-income housing in an apartment, 3 kids, single mother, working. And I do an appointment and I sell her, it was like a $500 set. And that set, it worked out to just less than what she was spending on a meal a week for her kids at McDonald's over 5 months. Okay. And I sold her on that. I was like, okay, listen, you're just not going to take your kids to McDonald's like you're going to McDonald's one less time a week for the next 5 months. Your knives are paid for. She's like, done.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, holy, that's just, you just have to find something else that they would spend their money on and see them valuing your product better, more.
Yeah. And that way your product doesn't cost anything.
Correct. Because they're spending the money anyways. They're just moving the money where they're spending it.
Yeah.
And they're getting something else.
That's all it is.
Totally.
You're not being an extra expense. And like I see a lot with, especially if you're selling high ticket and you have a payment plan, you basically promise that someone's going to get ROI within the first month. And so by the time their next payment comes in, they're already profiting. So the rest of the course is completely free.
Yeah. No, that's a really good one.
One other thing you can do if you ever sell like a subscription service is instead of giving them the monthly price, you give them the daily price. So if you're selling something for $97 a month, that's actually $3.26 a day.
Because people will think about what they're spending $4 on and be like, oh,
exactly.
We can go.
They're like, okay, I just won't buy a coffee tomorrow.
Right. And the funny thing is, what do they do anyways?
Oh, they buy the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. It's like what cars do bi-monthly payments, car companies, but like, right? Like I remember when people are just like, oh yeah, bi-monthly. I'm like, who the fuck pays bi-monthly? No, just give me the monthly number. Right? I don't need you to make it sound smaller. Just tell me the whole thing.
Oh, but it works.
Right? But it works with the majority of people because that's how our brains are wired. So what's the highest priced book you have? Or the highest priced book you've done?
$49.99 for a paperback.
Wow.
That's for a single book. 26. Yeah, for a single book. I have bundles that are $99.99, but that is literally like 700 pages of information.
Do you sell that?
They do like 2 to 3 a month. The $99.99 book.
Jeez, huh? That's awesome. That's still cool. Like that's still probably what, $80 in royalties?
Yeah, like $100 a month.
Right, which $100 a month from one book is a really good book. Like that's still a really good book.
Oh yeah, that book's like a year old. Still makes $100 a month consistently. Like,
and only selling a couple copies a month. That's phenomenal.
And the other thing is like it gives your pen name more authority because you're the guy charging $99.99.
That's a really good one. What about the mental barrier of? I remember the first time, and I think you talked me through it, charging more than $30 for one of my books.
The mental barrier.
Just go do it. Like, yeah, like, because breaking through that was, I was like, oh man, is anyone really going to buy it? But this was, it was one of my books, heavy with pictures, their color. And I was like, I have like the minimum price is like $28. I'm like, I'm going to have to charge like 30. I ended up charging like $36, a couple bucks in royalties, but the book sold really well. But I remember, it's like, it was difficult
because it goes back to the anchoring thing. You were anchored to that lower price point.
Right.
And a lot of this is like, that's a personal problem rather than like a business problem.
Makes sense.
So like if you listen to any of these like money success teacher types, they tell you to go hang out in 5-star hotels. They tell you to go to like expensive areas of town. Like that stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you're forcing yourself to level up and you're forcing yourself to appreciate higher price points.
Love that.
Yeah, everyone should go to the 5-star hotel in the city, go there, have a coffee and just hang out for an hour.
Just hang out and watch people and just look how different things are. It's that's one thing I've noticed living down in Monterrey. How different things are when you go to the nicer areas. And I'm not even like, I don't know if there's anyone watching this who's experienced this before, but people are not as fat when you go to the nicer areas in Mexico. And that was the first thing I noticed. And I remember walking the mall, looking around. I turned to my wife. I'm like, bro, babe, people aren't so fat here. Why are people fat over where we live? And she never noticed it before. I'm like, no, start looking around. Look at all the women. Right. And then I was like, see, and they're just more well kept. And I'm guessing, right? Like you've lived in lots of third world countries. That pattern, I bet, is continuous.
100%.
100%. And like in first world countries, in Vancouver or Canada, rather, that's not as common. Like, you go to the posh areas and like, yeah, you can definitely tell slightly, but it's not as noticeable in third world countries like Mexico or Bali or, Thailand or wherever. And that's it's a very, very interesting thing, because when you think about it, that's where the Starbucks Reserve is. It's in the nicer area of town. Why isn't it down here? Because people will pay more there, because one, they can, but two, that's just, how it is.
And that Starbucks Reserve is going to keep having a consistent flow of customers over and over again.
Totally.
Even though they're fully aware they can go down the street and pay a fifth of the price.
Are they probably just another coffee shop, like just in the mall, like 2 doors over? Like,
Starbucks is the one that's full.
Right. But it's just, you go there for the experience. Like, comes back to
people. That. Yeah, people write your name on the coffee cup. That makes you feel special.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like that alone is worth $3.
Yeah.
Writing someone's name in pen.
Right. And I think
as well,
companies really have picked up on that, because more and more places do that.
Yeah.
And now it becomes a little bit more annoying. Well, if your name's John, it's not. If your name's a Mecca, it's just a pain in the ass. Like, let's be honest.
Right? Ollie gets spelled right like 20% of the time.
Really? Yeah. No, I'm just like M, like the letter.
But like, the thing is, even like lower ticket brands can do it. Like Coke did it when they put everyone's name on the bottles.
Yeah. No, it's pretty
like that shot them right up.
But
like, that's genius.
But yeah, people bought more because they wanted their name on the bottle. 100%.
Yes, it makes you feel special. It's an experience now. You're not just buying Coke anymore.
Yeah. Genius, man. Genius. All right. How can people find out more about you?
El-Gorr.com, el-gorr.com. There is a full lesson of this in 1 hour book descriptions, which is one of my video courses. I'll give $100 off to anyone for the next 5 days, because I'm a nice guy. We'll put a link down in the description.
Cool. And I'll link your YouTube channel. Like, man, some of your content
on a YouTube channel
is just the best. Like, just the best. And your emails. I was just reading one before we got on here. Daily, if you want daily inspiration, not even inspiration, just if you want to see email marketing done right, just sign up for all his list and just look at his emails. Some of them are just so interesting. Like, I respond to, decent number of them every now and then. I'm like, Ollie, this is money.
You're one of my most rabid fans.
I am. That's awesome, buddy. All right, everybody. Hey, hit up Ollie in the comments if you have any questions for him. All the links for everything we talked about will be in the description of this video. Of course, he is also inside our free Facebook group. Link in the description for that as well, so you can join that. There's no cost for that.
Cancun Mastermind.
And Cancun Mastermind. Definitely, absolutely. Link in the description, everybody. Hey, thanks, Ollie, so much for taking some time and talking to us on the channel here. Until next time, everybody, I'm Emeka. That's Ollie. We'll speak to you all soon.